Military began major combat operations in Iran.
He's a peacemonger, not a warmonger.
It's up to the Iraqi people, the Iranian people, to choose their next leader.
There's a lot of confusion about President Trump's peacekeeping bombing campaign in the Middle East. Well, I've been watching Fox News for 316 hours straight, and I'm ready to Fox-explain America's very well-defined mission in Iraq.
We may have casualties. That often happens in war.
I don't know if this is technically a war.
Strategic strikes are not war.
Nobody should classify this as war. It is combat operations.
This is not war. It's a dairy-free, war-like alternative. We're at not war with not Iraq. How can I make this clearer? Frankly, it doesn't matter what you call it. The president has a very strict deadline for this war.
It could end in 2 or 3 days, said the president.
It could last 2 or 3 weeks.
This operation could last 4 weeks or less.
We could say 4 weeks, but it could be 6, it could be 8, it could be 3.
It could be 9. It could be 6, 7. It could be 8, 6, 7, 5, 3, 0, 9. The point is, it's not going to be a forever war. No one is saying that.
Trump's saying today, wars can be fought forever.
Yes, wars can be fought forever. I mean, isn't it refreshing to hear a man make that kind of commitment in 2026? This is what we voted for, a president who will transparently tell you that we could be entering an inescapable quagmire. President Trump will fight until we win, no matter how long it takes.
We've already won. We've already won. In many ways, we've already won.
Like I said, we already won. Mission accomplished. This is progress, people. It took months for George Bush to prematurely declare victory. President Trump did it in days. Besides, it's not up to us. It's up to the Iranian people.
There's no question that Iran clearly fits in that picture.
Are you sure these are different countries? Like maybe Iraq is like Aloha and it could be Iraq or Iran? But whoever we're bombing, we're winning. Because when President Trump starts a war, he wins the war. Even when he didn't start the war.
We didn't start this war, but under President Trump, we are finishing it.
Iran has been at war with the United States for 47 years.
The Iranians have been at war with us since 1979. This didn't start on Saturday.
Donald Trump promised no new wars. And this one doesn't count because, as we all know, it started in 1979. Look, Donald the Peace President Trump wouldn't get us into not war for no reason. It was based on very hard, conclusive evidence.
It was my opinion that they were going to attack first. They were going to attack if we didn't do it.
The president's feeling based on fact that Iran does pose an imminent indirect threat.
It wasn't just a feeling. It was based on a fact. It was more than a feeling. Here's the truth, Bomb. Sometimes you have to start a war to prevent a war that was already a war that's technically not even a war. Come on, people. So everyone relax. This administration knows exactly what they're doing in Iraq. Not Iraq, of course. I mean Iraq.
Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, who taught us this truth. I came across this video. Man, what a fantastic way to show the stupidity of Esau Edom, man. Because they're stumbling upon themselves. And matter of fact, that's scripture. Their tongue shall fall upon themselves. Why? Because they're no longer able to hide themselves, man. First, they were going in for regime change. Then it was because they were going to be attacked. Then it was because Israel was going to be attacked. Then it's because they were chanting death to America. Then it's because of their nukes. But wait a minute, last year, I thought that, the American government had taken out their nukes. So their tongues are falling upon themselves. They should just be honest up front and say, you know what, we're the devil. There ain't nothing y'all can do. The devil gonna do what the devil gonna do. But hey, man, I saw a brother, he did a video, he titled it, No. Matter of fact, it was the bishop. Yeah, the bishop did the video. He said the chickens are coming home to roost, man, and that's exactly what's happening. Psalms 50:21. These things hast thou done. Matter of fact, let me go back here and start here. Where you at? Right here. It says, but unto the wicked, the Most High says, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou should take my covenant in thy mouth? And I want to pull this precept. Why? Because we all have seen by now the report that these so-called Christians have been telling their soldiers that this is a holy war, that this is Armageddon, which is funny because it is, but it's towards their destruction. And it's also even more funny because you got Islamists, you got Buddhists, you got atheists, soldiers, and then like, what? Like, I don't believe in this, but you're about to go die for it. And so I bring this precept up because these people are using the scriptures, and the Most High says, what do you have to do with my scriptures? All these people do is, what's that in First Maccabees chapter 1, around the 6th or 7th verse? Wickedness was multiplied on the earth after these generals took power. And that's exactly what happened, man. You know, there has nothing but wickedness continued on in this earth since these people took power, and yet they want to quote scripture to you, man. And, you know, we go into Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. It talks about all things having a season, man. And they had their season, you know. Revelations, the 20th chapter, talks about the devil being loose for a little season. They were at the top, and now, you know, we know that the prophecy says that, you know, Esau is the end of the world, man. So Esau, the so-called, the self-proclaimed white man being in rulership, lets us know that as his kingdom begins to fall, that we're next. Psalms 50 verse 21, because this is exactly what Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua has done. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. And why did Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua keep silence? Because to all things there is a season, and because the word had to go out so that the elect can be sealed. Revelations, the 7th chapter, goes into that. Destruction can come, and it won't come until the 144,000 have been sealed, man. And that's coming up. It says, thou thoughtest I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes, man. And that's what these Edomites thought, man. These Edomites thought that because their empire had lasted longer than 200 years, they thought that this was it. They thought, and they still think, man, they still think that they're going to go out to Mars and, you know, colonize Mars, you know. And, you know, Psalms 49 verse 11, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. You can't tell an Edomite that this place is going down. They'll look at you like if you're crazy, man. I mean, check out how the world looked at, you know, Kanye West, man. People, when he started bringing out those spreadsheets with those small hats, man, even though the facts were right there in front of these people, they still could not comprehend it, and that still remains the same today, man. Even though we can bring out these scriptures, even though there's, you know, hundreds of videos going out every day by GMS, all right, you know, and those are the only videos that matter, by the way, man. These other chems, they don't got it, man. You know, selling the truth, selling breakdowns, you know, going on debates. You know, these other camps ain't got it, man. So why do you how about Shimei Awashai for sending pastors after his own heart, man, to teach us, man? And so why do you how about Shimei Awashai for giving us the opportunity, the mercy, and the grace to be called, man, to be called into this truth. And Baba Kishah, we be of that 144,000 who are chosen, man, because we know that there's a difference between being called and being chosen, man. There's, you know, many are called, but few are chosen, man. And in these end times, our prayer is that we be chosen. Because Revelations the 12 and 12, the devil's come down with great wrath, man. Things are about to start picking up, man. This war is not going the way that these devils wanted it to go. And now, you know, he's got to do something drastic, man. And all this is prophecy, you know, but it's going to cause a trickle effect, you know. This war is going to change things, man. This isn't going to be just like, you know, Venezuela and the world keeps going. This war is going to change things, man. These Cormanians have been emboldened, man. They done took out their leader, you know, his family, his grandkids. They, you know, supposedly his son is not injured, who is the new leader. These people are emboldened, man. I know you guys saw that interview when they asked the Iranian, I think it was the defense minister, he said, so what are you going to do if they send ground troops? His immediate response was, we're ready for them. We're expecting them, man. All right, these Edomites think that their inward thoughts are going to continue forever, man. He thought that he would go into Iran just like he did to Venezuela, and he thought he'd be able to get them up. You know, Venezuela, and then he They took out that cartel guy in Mexico, Mencho, and so he was puffing his chest, man. He was puffing his chest, but this is prophecy. Matter of fact, let's go and get that. When he is there, you go right there. Haven't pulled that one in a bit, but we'll go ahead and grab it. It's still in the history bar. It says Job 20:23. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. And that's what this bastard was gonna do. He thought, I got Maduro, I got Mencho. Now I'm gonna get this one. It's just gonna be another trophy for me. That's what he thought. But the scripture says, man, when he's about to fill his belly, man, and there are many scriptures that go into that too. Talk about when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction, when victuals shall be so cheap, right? And they think themselves to be in good place. That's a rough paraphrase. And these people got it coming, man. These people got it coming, man. Now these Americans can't even explain themselves, man. They can't, it is a war because more people die, but it's not a war. Like, which one is it, man? That's why this place is called Babal, man. The land of confusion. And we've been waiting for this time, man. Especially our elders. Man, especially our elders who've been in this truth for years. Think about that, man. Our elders who've been in this truth for years upon years upon years, man. They've been waiting for this, man. This is a promise. This is a promise in the same way that we're able to look back to at scriptures like Isaiah 9:6, talking about Yahweh Shai, and we're able to link that up with with those scriptures going, those being messianic scriptures. We're not able to link true life events with the scriptures. Habakkuk 2:3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. And that's exactly what the scripture is doing. That's exactly what Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is doing. He's speaking. He's speaking through his prophets, and also he's speaking through a prophecy, man. And that prophecy is that these bastards are being made bare. Their own people have turned on them, man. And that's in the book of Obadiah. The men of thy confederacy, have turned against you, man. Because even the media is turning against these people. Edomites are turning against Trump. People are, I should have never voted for Trump. No, you did what you did, and then while we're on that subject, man, because you voted, matter of fact, let's get that scripture. Hand join hand. Let's get that. Brothers know where I'm getting. In Proverbs 11:21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. So all these people that are having second thoughts, I should have never voted for Trump. No, your hand already joined with his hand, man. And the scripture says you shall not be unpunished, man. Now this is too much. So, these, self-proclaimed whites, they didn't have a problem when, the Epstein files came out with Trump's name in them. They didn't have a problem with, the so-called blacks and browns being, sent to concentration camps. They didn't have a problem with him kidnapping a sitting president from another country. They didn't have a problem with him bombing, other countries in the so-called Middle East. But this one war, this is too much. Nah, man, your hand done already joined hand. You can't shoot indiscriminate spiritual bullets and then say, oh, I give up. Hell no, man. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, isn't it Chris Brown, your fucking ass? Hands up, don't shoot. No, hands up, you're still being judged. That's what the scriptures say. The wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered, man. And who are those righteous? It's the prophets. The scriptures talk about the prophets being innocent in the eyes of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. So these people got it coming to them, man. It says, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. And these people's soul ain't lifted up, Now there's talks about another nuclear bomb. I mean, really? Y'all 300,000 deaths in 5 seconds wasn't enough for you, and and that's not to count the other million Iraqis that have died in the previous conflicts. That still, he is as dead. He cannot be satisfied, man. Matter of fact, let's get that. It's right here. Yea, also because he transgresses by wine. He is a proud man. And we've all seen this man transgress by wine. That's why he was over there in Iran trying to, so-called negotiate. And now, they're over here getting upset because Trump says he's not happy with the choice that another country made, chose to be their leader. Think about that. You have an American president saying, I'm not happy with who this country chose as their leader, so we're going to take him out. That's the whore that sits on many waters. That's him transgressing by wine. But these people can't see it. He is a proud man. And of course he's proud, man. So proud to the fact that they were televising, when they were striking these boats off the coast of Venezuela. And they were putting a murder of the so-called Hispanics on national television. But yet they want to censor a fucking nipple, And no, I'm not talking, I'm not saying show the nipple. I'm not saying that, but what I'm merely trying to show is that they will show them murdering your own people, but then they will hide everything else. They will show you murdering your kinsmen, but they will hide the truth about these small hats, man. That's how fucked off these people are. And yet these other camps got the audacity to talk about Esau can't be saved. Get the fuck out of here with that shit, man. That's why these people got to go down, man. Because even 2/3 of our people, they voted for these people. And if they didn't vote for it, they were in agreement with them, man. Who enlarges his desire as hell. And is as death and cannot be satisfied, man. He still wants to drop another bomb. That's why the scripture says that this devil has to be taken out. If not, there would be no flesh to save, man. If Yahweh Shai doesn't come back, this devil will take everybody out, man. That's why they got that thing mad, mutually assured destruction, man. Basically means that if they lose the chess game, they're gonna flip the board. What do I mean by that? If America and these small hats think that they're gonna be taken out, they're just gonna take the whole world out, man. And that's prophecy. That's talked about in the scriptures. All right, because that's why I said if Yahweh Shai didn't come back, there would be no flesh to save. These people would take us all out, man. But our people, knowing that these wicked Edomites have that doctrine, they still want to be with them, man. Ain't that some shit? That's like laying down with a rabid pit bull. He ain't gonna bite me, even though he's got rabies and he's already took out 300,000 plus 1 million. Our people are crazy, man. Our people are zombies and cannot be satisfied, but gathers unto them all nations and heaps unto him all people, man. The melting pot. So, hey, look, man, the time of these people is over. I think I have one more scripture. Yeah, we'll close it out here. Isaiah 48:22. There is no peace, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem El Shai, unto the wicked, man. While these people are in power, there is no peace, man. There is. Look, you got a so-called, you got Edomite, Amalekite, tongue phone. There is no peace until these people are taken out. There will be no peace, man. So, until the next one, shalom. Go ahead and close this out.